Hey there guys, today we ask the following questions. What is an acidic diet? What are the problems of an overly acidic diet? What is an alkaline diet? What are the benefits of an alkaline diet, if any? Does ocean pH provide any of those benefits? To get the answers to all those questions, just watch this video all the way through to the very end. Hey guys, Liam from ZenYogaHealth and liamkbyrne.com. A little unshaven today because it is a bank holiday here in Ireland. Today I would like to speak to you about this most fascinating and interesting product called Ocean pH. This is a red marine algae product, specifically lithiothamnion calcareum. Yeah, obviously I'm not a nutritionist or a scientist, so any advice given here is not health advice. You should speak to your doctor, but hopefully it will be informational in that you may not have heard of either red marine algae and its health benefits or of ocean pH before. So this was recommended to me. I forget actually what it was. I was discussing alkalinity, acidic versus alkaline diets. Or food sources, or how to make a diet a little more alkaline. Check it out in my blog as well. So let's get to point number one. What is an acidic diet? So usually, to keep it simple, because that's all I can understand, usually this involves red meat, alcohol, most processed foods, grains, sugar, some dairy products, fish, soft drinks, sodas, to translate that into American, and any foods or supplements that are particularly high in protein. So yeah, for most people that's going to be most of the stuff you love. So yeah, boo-hoo, unfortunately. And what about things what about other stuff like salt and soy sauce and vinegar, processed honey, maple syrup, mayonnaise, and one of my personal favorites in the past and still even in the present, coffee. Yeah, so there's some things in there I can do without, that I do live without, but other things like soy sauce and vinegar and coffee, yeah, those are tough ones. But you know, there's a probably 50-50 chance you're a vegan or a vegetarian if you're watching this, so you're probably okay, right? Well, unfortunately it has absolutely no bearing. Yeah, sure, red meat is one of the processed meat, and alcohol are one of the main culprits. Alcohol, of course, is vegan most of the time, but so yeah, it has no bearing. You can be vegan and highly acidic in what you eat, or you can be a carnivore and be highly acidic in what you eat. Being a vegan doesn't save you from this, unless perhaps you might be a whole food plant-based vegan, the most currently fashionable and cool one to be. So imagine, even in the case that you are one of these up-to-date and fashionable vegans, well, there's still some bad news, because lemons and limes, grapes, grapefruits, apples, oranges, tomatoes, peaches, blueberries, and even pomegranates all tend to acidity. Yeah, I know, hard to believe. You kind of think that with those sort of things that it's just going to be perfect. Now, nobody's saying those things are bad, but they do tend to give you a more acidity. But what does that mean really? And let's say you are tending towards more acidity in your diet, does it even cause a problem? Does it matter? Well, to break it down again into something that is totally and easily understandable, and the thing that affected me the most when I lived on that kind of diet for years and years and years, I had progressively worsening heartburn and acid reflux. So that is not necessarily to say that those specific individual things, any one of them was the culprit. Perhaps it was more the overall diet, and I used to fry a lot. I still love frying things, but I do it a little bit less than I used to. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that can contribute to it, but that's what affected me the most. But those are not really, those meaning heartburn and acid reflux, aren't necessarily really the things you need to be most worried about, as inconvenient and unpleasant as they are. What you should probably worry about more concerning, are uric acid kidney stones, possible muscle and bone loss due to your body using calcium to balance your blood's pH levels, and as if those weren't enough, how about you add in cancer, heart disease and liver problems to that list? Yeah, so there are reasons to be concerned. So what is an alkaline diet? Well, take a look at this banquet of irresistible delights: tofu, tempeh, soya beans, miso, unsweetened yogurt, herbal tea, avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, most fruits, lentils, beans, quinoa, millet, most herbs and spice, and of course the one you were hoping was in there, amaranth. Thank God it's there, right? Somehow I don't think so. Now there might be some of you licking your lips at that list, but I guess most of you aren't. So yeah, well, don't worry, because in addition to those delights, you've also got cabbage, beets, mushrooms, leafy greens and broccoli. Yeah, what a relief. Now luckily for me, I genuinely do love most of those things. I love tofu, I love beans, lentils of all kinds, fruits and veggies, and I adore quinoa, genuinely. I'm not pretending or faking it. I've always liked them, even before I went totally vegetarian then vegan, or mostly vegan, I should be honest. So this is easy for me, and easy possibly for you to instantly hate me as well, especially when you consider the benefits of eating this herbivore type food. So what are the supposed benefits of an alkaline diet? Well, considering that the list above is all whole food and plant-based, you basically will get all the benefits of that kind of a vegan diet, which includes dramatically lowering the risks of hypertension, high blood pressure, heart disease, and many kinds of cancer. Not all, of course. And I love this when they put it into these studies, lower risk of death. So there's a small amount of people eating like this who just never die. I presume what they mean is longevity. Now, but is this because of the alkalizing properties, or is it just because it's whole foods? That's a great question. So, having scoured the internet in order to research this for myself and for you, there is definitely no consensus on this. The truth is that your body is neither all alkaline nor is it all acidic. It depends on where you are in the body. So the blood, for example, is slightly alkaline and has to stay within strict limits. Too much or too little, and it is a medical emergency. Homeostasis keeps it this way, and your diet has no impact on this. Likewise, your stomach acids are definitely acidic and need to be that way. Again, your diet likely has very little impact on this. What you can impact, however, is what your body excretes, specifically urine, so you can influence this a bit. But does this make a significant difference to your health? Is it worth all the bother? Probably not. Nevertheless, researchers at the University of California in San Diego, a prestigious institution I'm sure, suggest a ratio of about 3-to-1 alkalizing to acidifying ratio for good health. So this brings us to ocean pH. Is it alkalizing or not? Well, yes it is, according to their website anyway. It wasn't really possible for me to find any study to back specifically this product up, but I trust them. It's up to you if you want to trust them or not. It was expensive enough. I'll put a little link to it so you'll see how much it costs for 150 grams of this. It's powder. So assuming that it is alkalizing, Does it provide any health benefits at all? So again, this is hard to say. It does contain many essential minerals in good quantities, such as calcium, magnesium, iodine, iron and zinc in particular. If you are worried about bone density, then this is a great double whammy, because not only will this in theory reduce the acidity that may be taking the calcium out of your bones, but it will also be adding calcium back in, and from a source which I believe, and I think most honest people who have researched the subject will say is better than dairy products. If you happen to be vegan or vegetarian and are, I believe, needlessly worried about calcium and bone density, not to mention iron, then this is a great way to get it, particularly if you are going heavy on the acidity forming fruits, grains and condiments. Are there any downsides to using excuse me, are there any downsides to using red marine algae in the form of ocean pH? Well, there's nothing that I could find, just the usual stuff that you would hear about taking in excessive iodine and calcium that you should be aware of when taking any supplement. So don't stress it, just be aware of it. If you've had any medical condition, of course, go ahead and speak to your doctor, but for most of us it's going to be just fine. What about my heartburn? When I had this acidity forming diet, it was definitely related. I would eat certain things and immediately get the heartburn. Couldn't enjoy a meal for a couple of years, and once I cleaned up my diet, all these things went away. Now, having said that, you know, I cleaned up my diet a bit at a time, so I cleaned it up but still continued to eat meat products and my heartburn was gone. So I'm not trying to say that meat gives you heartburn per se. If you clean up your diet, that's to me turning it more into a whole food, less processed food type diet. But anyway, look, so when I reduced acidity forming foods, processed foods and meats and whatever so on, one of the big health benefits for me, and then particularly when I went vegan, was completely losing the years of heartburn that I had suffered. And because of how it feels, because of how this feels, you tend to assume it's the acidity, but look, maybe it never was. Maybe it was a reaction to all the soy sauce, the vinegar, the red wine, the beer that I used to eat with my meat and veggies. So if you're looking for a cure for heartburn, will ocean pH cure that? Will it cure anything? I can't say. But other than your wallet and your pocket, I think it can't hurt to give it a try. Now, what about herpes? Huh? Where did that spring out of? So in my research on red marine algae, I heard or found on the internet that apparently it is touted or used as a cure or a remedy for the symptoms of herpes. This particular red marine algae is not the one that you're looking for. So if you're looking for it for that particular reason, this isn't the one. You'll have to go and get a very specific strain of the red marine algae. So and for shingles as well, I think it's going to be a different one. So this is not the one to get for that. So what is the bottom line? Personally, I think there is no definitive answer. However, this is high in mineral content. It's vegan. And it is alkalizing. So that's what we can say, I believe, about this to a fair degree of certainty. So I would tend to use this in the way that I use most supplements. I use it occasionally when I believe it's needed, and this way I feel I keep my diet, including my supplementation, varied, which to my simple layperson's mind is better for the body overall, rather than sticking to one strict regime, the same supplements all the time. I think it's better to vary them. That's just me, you know, my opinion. So if you want to try it out, please go ahead and do so. Let me know how it goes, and do me the favor of buying it through an affiliate link if I remembered to put one in below. I'm sure I did. And yeah, one other thing, I guess, while we're here, what's it like to take? So this guy, you are supposed to take it away from meals, so you're probably not going to mix it in with a smoothie or a drink. You just want to take it with water, so some good quality filtered water or whatever you have, and you mix it in. It tastes a little bit on the dusty side. It is a powder, kind of a flavorless powder, a little bit maybe chalky. I don't know if you can see in there. Just a white powder, like flour or something. So it has kind of a chalky type flavor. You know, it's not delicious. It's not repellent. It's kind of neutral. So you just mix it in with a glass of water, maybe first thing in the morning, or well in between meals, and just to swig it down, and it's dead easy to take. So guys, thanks for listening, and remember, if you have any medical condition, be sure to check in with a doctor or a nutritionist or somebody who knows more about this than me and yourself before messing around with your diet or any other aspect of your health. So thanks a million, guys. Thanks for listening. Hit the old like button there, leave a comment. It really helps the ranking of the video and the channel and blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. Thanks so much for listening. Take care and talk to you soon.